Hi everyone, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to my Tuesday photo editing live stream where you can submit your images and I do my best to edit them in 4 minutes if I can. Also, I put my image out there for you guys to edit because I always enjoy seeing what you guys can do, and most of you are much better editors than I am, so I'm always flattered, surprised, I don't know, shocked that you guys would watch me edit an image, but I'm here because I enjoy, you know, just hanging out and editing photos together, and just the community aspect of this part of it. You know, that's why I do these streams. They're very rewarding for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. All right, so let me go ahead and open up Workspace. Arrange my windows real quick. I just finished my last stream, so as always I'm behind, but at least I have audio and sound, right? Yeah, audio and video working. I should probably swap the batteries out while I'm at it. Let me swap my camera battery because I don't like it dying right in the middle of a stream. All right, awesome. Okay, John Yutze, Jonas, John Follows, Luke, DeMorgan, hello. Lasifis, hi. And music is back. Oh, it's still fun to learn and you watch. Oh, okay, cool. All right, let me go over to the screen 1 second. Oh, not too many today. That's good. Let's see. So we have. So there's a few here that I'm not seeing, so I have to go over to Lightroom and edit those separately. But we'll work on what's here. Let me make sure I got everything checked. Photos, yeah, the filters are all fine. Okay. All right. Yeah, being in space. We have internet up here too, you know, in space. All right. Where's my timer? There. All right, so we have some wind turbines with these chimney stacks, whatever they are. Huh. Interesting. The shadows are a little harsh and the sky is kind of hazy. What did we use here? We used the EM5 Mark III with a 40 to 150 Pro lens at 40 millimeters f7.1, 1/200th, ISO 200. Wow, you dialed in a plus 0.7. Interesting. I think it works for this image though. It did bring the shadows up nicely. Huh, okay, and this is from Ivan. All right, good. All right, let's do my usual. I always do sharpness and turn off the noise filter. And I'm going to, let's leave it in natural for now. Let's dehaze a little bit, see if there's anything in the sky. Yeah, that's not coming in too well. But there is sky back there. But let's pull the tone curve down. Auto gradation's fine. Let's add some saturation. I wonder if I can pull the sky in a little more. There we go. Soft to be fun. Good to see you. You're on your lunch break. That's awesome. God, making me hungry thinking about food now. Let's try that. And We'll do sky replacement candidate. I know I'm trying to avoid that. The white balance is good. I think this feels pretty warm already. But I just want to tweak some of the colors. Let me add a little clarity. And I'm going to shift the hue actually. Let me see these greens got too much red in them. So let's shift the greens over this way. I'm sorry, this way. Opposite. I just want to get some of the greens back in a little bit stronger than they are. Just create some contrast with these browns. And then the browns, let's make them more orange. What did I do wrong here? What's wrong with my thinking here? I want to make them more orange. My color brain is still not quite there. Maybe I have to shift it this way. That made it more green. That's weird. I don't want it more. I really don't want it this red, but now it's starting to just look over processed. All right, let me turn the saturation down and we'll call it down to about a +1. And let's increase the blues. I know I'm out of time, but luminance will pull the blues back like so. I created a little bit of banding. All right, let's do before and after. So if I had more time, it needs to render a little bit because there's a little bit too much banding. So what I would do is I'd go back and tweak my color. Whoops, that's not what I want. This. I'd go back and tweak the colors a little bit more with the hue to get the reds to be less red and more yellow. And then I would adjust the blue saturation and luminance so there's a little bit less banding. But this is definitely the direction I would go with this image. All right. Let's see what we got here. Walter says, I'm not a fan of sky replacement. I'm too much of a purist. Yes, Walter is definitely a purist. The money and the image reflect the actual scene. Yeah, I agree, John. The juxtaposition of the smokestacks. And John McCormick says, hi, Rob. I sent a flycatcher for you to work on. Okay. Thank you, John. I try. I really needed more time on that one, but all right, let's start the timer here. And I really don't need a timer today because there's just so many. There's not too many edits today, but I need to crop this because I don't like this big overhang. Let's see where 16 by 9 gets us. Almost there. Ooh. I don't like how this is just touching the bottom. But maybe I can brush a little bit. Try that. Actually, this overhang is not too bad. Let's do that. Let me just brush. Oh, that's too big. Okay, that should do. Brush that. All right. And let's see if there's anything left in the sky. I'm going to pull this down this way. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, there's nothing to recover there. So we'll leave the exposure where it was. Let's try some gradation down here. Bring up the foreground just a little bit. And now let's bring in some contrast. Just a little bit, very, very tight on the tone curve here. Excuse me. Now some dehaze for the clouds. I mean this smoke. Just to give it a little more definition. And let's see, this is a JPEG. That's why I didn't recover the sky. Okay. This is from Dawood. Let's look at the EXIF. A GTC 350. This must be a cell phone. I'm not familiar with this. This must be a cell phone image. So that would explain the lack of dynamic range and kind of the mushiness in the details, but that's okay. Let's see if we can bring a little bit of sharpness back. And yeah, that helps a little bit. Almost looks like a painting, doesn't it? Right here. I kind of like, that's what I'm going to do. Forget the whole scene. I'm going to go right here. I like this scene right here. And let me try this. That might jack it up a bit. Yeah, that's too much. But there's another filter that might look good here. No, none of these. It looks good just like this. Let's do a negative sharpness, see what happens. Ah. A little bit different, a little bit shift on the crop. Okay. All right, and some vignette and I'm done. Wow. All right, so that's very different, right? Back to my old ways. People used to call me the chop master or something. I forget. I used to get all these weird nicknames. But that's what I would do with that scene. I just like the little cabin there, or whatever that is, that barn. And then the rest of it's okay. All right. Because there was so little detail left in the image anyway, why not crop in? All right, let's see. Ooh, wow, this is rough. You must have zoomed way in to get this, and let me see, what's this? This is from Flycatcher. Oh, okay. Whoops, what is this? This is the M10 Mark II, the 75 to 300. Yep, this is good. Good shutter speed. Wow, ISO's high. So that's the problem. The ISO is really high here. You know, the lens is a little bit soft to begin with, and then when you add in high ISO, it really destroys the image. So I'm not going to be able to recover much here. What I'm going to do is, let's see what soft focus does. And let's compress the range of light just a little bit, but keep the bird in. Right there. The crop is about 15% of the total. Let's see. Oh, the dimensions would be here. 1431 by 1566. So this is like a not even 3 megapixel image, right? Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to soften this. I need to desaturate a tiny bit. I need more contrast. And let's see what a white vignette looks like. Since you have a white border. What a dark vignette. No, that looks stupid. I'm just going to make a little bit of a white vignette. That. Let me try some dehaze and clarity. Just the dehaze more for the contrast, but oh, that's bringing up the noise more. No, not really. It was the clarity that did that. Pop Art 2. Ooh, you know, Pop Art 2 is going to really... I'll show you. I think it's going to crank the colors way out of control, though. Yeah. That would take too much work to recover it. I mean, pale light and color 2 might be okay. No, I like the soft focus best. Because there's so much detail lost anyway, we might as well soften up all of those issues. If anything, maybe increase it a little bit. Like so. Maybe not quite that much. And then adjust the curve a little stronger. Oh, that's too much. And just a slight white balance shift, and then I'm done. Yeah, topaz denoise, and we're done, huh? I want to just pull some of the greens off. Maybe a tiny bit of the yellow. That's too much right there. Okay, perfect. All right, so before and after. I probably, yeah, in Lightroom I could do like denoise and probably get a little further along, but I think this looks good. Okay. It's more of an artsy-fartsy kind of image now than it is an actual picture of a bird. Alrighty, let's go to the next one. This is from Image Writer, and we're using the EM10 Mark II with a 14-42 kit. 14 millimeters 1/250 at f/18 out for the starburst, obviously. Good job. All right, yeah, that all looks good. Good settings, perfect settings. Not bad on the composition. It's hard to do starburst compositions because, you know, the sun kind of dictates where where are you going to frame it? But really good job. So sorry, let me start my timer. Let's see if we can bring back some of the shadows. Yeah, that was a tough one, Luke, right? Okay, that helps. And cropping wise, I'm thinking, what if we straighten it out a little bit? And just come in off the right. Okay, that's okay. Try some dehaze. Tiny bit of clarity. That'll make the starburst stand out, I think. All right, let's play with the tone curve a bit. Because I want to keep the contrast. But I don't want to crush the shadows or blow the highlights too much. Yeah, it's always slow, Walter. Workspace is just terrible. Okay, I think that's all I can do there. Let me try. I have no adjust color. Let's do vivid and see what happens here. Okay. White balance is perfect already. I think this is all I can do with this image. Let me see where we were. Yeah, I think this is it. Let's work on the noise a little bit. Let's try low, just to soften it. Some of the grain in here. Maybe a standard. All right, that's good. Yeah, that got rid of the noise in the sky too, I'm sure. I'm afraid to add any sharpness because of just a little bit of grain in here. Let's see. Workspace does a decent job of increasing the sharpness without increasing the sharpness on the noise itself. All right, I'm going to call it. I think this is all I can do. So that's the before and after. So just a little bit of a crop because the tree is distracting up here in the corner. This leaf was distracting this little leaf tagging in here. And it's okay to cut leaves off because people know it's a leaf, right? They don't need to see the whole thing necessarily unless it adds to the composition somehow. And it's really not. It's framing the flower itself a little bit pretty well. But yeah, I think my goal here was really to just show the sunflower and the starburst a little more. So I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's go to the next one. It does have a clone heal tool. I didn't really need it though. I could just crop in a little bit and that got the job done. Let's see, we have one here. This is Lauren's image. Wow, Lauren's sending me a black and white. Wait, I don't want this. What did we use here? EM10 Mark II with a 45 f1.8 and a 5.6 1/1000th ISO 400. Oh, why not 200, Lauren? What happened? That's okay. 400's fine. It's a black and white, but man, he always takes pictures of these really cool cars, but usually with really punchy colors. This, I wonder if I can make this a square composition, because it's a little bit out of balance here, I think, on the right. I can square it off and just balance some of that a little more. Okay. And not ISO 400, it wouldn't add enough grain, as you can see. And because he sent me a JPEG, the camera is processing a little bit of that grain out anyway. I'd have to add it back in. So what I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, just to do something different for Lauren. What about the car body image of the buildings across the road? I don't see any cars here. But that's interesting. I didn't see that at first. That's an interesting idea, Lysippus. That would take me some time to work out. I don't think I can do that in 2.5 minutes that I have left. But yeah, I know what you mean. I do like that idea. That would be really a tight crop. Something down in here maybe. Let me see. Let me just spend 10 seconds exploring that idea. Keep some of the wheels in it. I'm not sure it's enough. The reflection is just a little bit too wonky to make that, I think, to make that idea work. So I'm going to go back to my square crop right about there. Why am I not getting the same? All right, let me add some dehaze. And I'm just going to do a split tone on this. Where's my tone curve? You just pull the blacks just in. I need some really dark tones so I can split tone this. And let's go with cyan, kind of a red cyan. I'm going to pull, I don't know if the shadow should be cyan. Let me try the shadows. Yeah. And then we'll make the highlights a little more red. Okay. Go to the green channel and adjust a little bit too. No. Maybe the blue channel. Make it sepia. No, I think this is good right here. This very mild split tone. All right, so there's the before and after. Oh, why does it look blue? I meant to go kind of cyan. The split toning's not making me too happy. I'm not happy with that split tone. Let me get rid of that. We'll just make it a little bit sepia. All right, there we go. Final answer. Yeah, just square it off and add some split toning. But, you know, because Lauren sends me images that are pretty much done already, straight out of camera. He's really good at picking these off. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Luke. Or I guess those are really compliments for Lauren, right? Not so much my editing. Lauren just took a great picture. Kind of like this one. This one's pretty cool. Lighting's a little bit harsh. This looks familiar though, like I did this same girl before, or same outfit anyway. Oops, wrong button. What do we use here? This is the 17.1.2 on the EM1X, 17mm f2.8, 1/2000th of a second, or 1/200th of a second, ISO 400. Ooh. And this is a nice spooky portrait of Abby from Simon. Okay. I really like this lens though. And we got a single light here. Oh, where's my, sorry, let me start my timer. Yeah, it's similar to Sunday, right? It does, the outfit looks very familiar. Oh, we need to go with all this trash on the ground and then this shadow. I'm thinking if we can go really gritty with this. Let me just experiment real quick. You never normally do this on a portrait, but I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, I like this this split toning on this image, just to give it some craziness. And then let's work with the highlights a little bit. So I'm going to darken it first and then bring up the shadows. Okay. May not need to bring up the shadows. It's actually not looking bad this way. And I do need a little bit more contrast. Let me try the haze. Either, because clarity is going to mess up the highlights on her skin, but the haze should give me some nice contrast. Yeah, that's looking good. And let me adjust this red curve just a little bit more. Her skin is way up here. Let me lock her skin tone perfectly. And then play with all the midtones. Yeah. Oops. One too many pins. All right. I need some more vignette. And let me check the crop here. I'd like her eye to just be centered right here, that's all. That feels a little tight now, but I'm going to go with it. Let's let that vignette pop in. All right, let's go to the normal tone curve and just see what else we can pull in. Because our skin is up here. I'm going to leave that at that luminance so we can play with everything else. This area here. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so let's see what we did. This is such a good image that you can go a lot of different directions with this. So I just decided to kind of go a little bit gritty. But you know, you can see with the split toning I did, I locked her skin tone in the best I can. And then it's easy to pull the tones or the split toning in on the other areas, because everything else in the image is generally darker than her skin tone right here. So it was easy to manipulate all the other tones. If I had more time, I'd like to manipulate this tone right here, but this is very close to her leg tone, so I don't know if I would have gotten anywhere there. I would have to use Lightroom with a brush and brush in like a different tone for this, but I think that came out good. All right. Oh, hey Simon, you're here. You're welcome. Thanks. I try. And that's a fantastic lens, man. I'm so tempted to buy that lens, but God, I need so many other things before I buy a lens like that. Yeah, it's a great picture though. Really good. All right, so let's see. We have a lens. Oh, I like this tree. Oh, come on. I like this tree. What did we use here? This is a EM1X with a 12 to 45 Pro, f5.6, 1640. Man, all awesome settings. Solid settings. I would have done ISO 200, but man, this is really nice. I got to think of a composition though. I'm gonna go square again. Crop out, because this over here is, this stuff is a little bit too small to appreciate. I'm gonna go with just this tree. A little bit more off the top, a little bit off the bottom. Let's see how that looks. Ah, it looks like crap. Try wider again. Maybe it just needs a little more breathing room. All right, that's a little better. It falls off to the left side a little better. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to see. All right, I'm going to go with this crop. And go a little warmer. What are we in? Natural? Natural's fine. We may have to adjust some colors, a little bit of clarity, sharpness, and as far as tone goes, I'm not sure what to do here because these tones are all really mixed in and there's not a lot of color. Okay, so black and white. The colors here are just too similar. These very faint yellows and greens. So this has to be a black and white. So I went through all that white balance nonsense for no reason. Now let's see if I can bring that tree out. Yeah, the tree stands out nicely against this. I forget what the frickin' color was. Let's put a red filter. Hopefully that'll bring out the bark and push back the greens. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And all right. Oops. Okay, I'm going to pull everything down here. And then we'll pull up the shadows. Oh, 10 seconds. Crap. If I can save the tree's tones. All right, let me entertain Walter's idea of a wider crop. Let's try 16 by 9. Come in. I think the tree gets kind of lost in the wider crop. So I'm gonna stay with the crop that I started with here. Because I want the tree to be the subject, right? Let's just pull. Let's just pull a little bit of sepia in this, and then I'll be done. Just a tiny bit of split toning. Right. Okay, good. All right, let's do a before and after. So, you know, my split toning has not been great. A little bit too much blue. I really wanted more of a sepia look. But anyway, this is pretty much where I would go. I'd spend a little more time on the tones on the tree, right in here. But I think, yeah, that's what I'm almost thinking back to a square crop, but it didn't have quite the balance this does. But okay, not bad for a 4-minute edit. It looks all right. I'm not happy with this tone that I did. Why is it looking so weird? And yet, I know I'm going over, but all right, let me just eyeball that. Give that a moment to render. I hate to leave it. Since I can't really do a negative clarity to soften some of the highlights, That's almost there. I'm sorry, I'm going over on this one. You know, you kind of get a bug up your butt about things, and you have to try it. All right, now I'm going to stop here. But okay, I think that looks better. That's a little bit more of where I would go. Something in this direction. It just needs to be a little bit softer, but okay. But I'm happy with the tone, the split toning I did on that. All right. What's going on here? A couple in the park. And just all this busyness, and then this tree is trying to frame it. I'm not sure. Let me straighten this. This is from Luke Rod. Oh, Luke is here. Hi, Luke. I like the brown leaves over here. It's just so busy up above them, and you can just barely make them out. I'm not good at composing people laying down. Yeah, I'm gonna go black and white again. I'm sorry, I'm so partial to black and white, but let me see what the colors are again before I go there. We have these greens and we have this blue. So monotone, red, dehaze, vignette. Gosh, where are their skin tones are way at the top. Let me save some of those right there. Let me look at the color again now that I've adjusted the tones. It might be okay. Let me just, no. I can't do color. Green and blue just don't go together. Yeah, wrestling match. Oh, we got auto gradation on too. Let me try normal. Maybe even low key. Let me look. Yeah, that works. I like the contrast on that. Let's push the dehaze up. And let's pull a sharpening, turn off this noise. Because we're at ISO 200 anyway, so we don't need a noise filter. A little heavier on the vignette even. And man, I got 30 seconds. I can absolutely work on a tone curve. Let me think. Let's push. Let's give this a nice, cool look to it. A little bit of magenta. It's a little dark, but I think that's fine. Okay, let's compare again. Yeah, I like the black and white a lot better. The blue and the green and the busyness of all the leaves are just, it just was too much. So, you know, kind of a heavy vignette together with a low-key gradation to kind of soften all of the leaves everywhere. But you don't want to lose all the leaves either. I mean, a soft focus might work, but that would mess up the couple on the ground here, I feel like. I kind of like seeing the detail in the people on the ground. Okay. Nice shot, though. He almost made the same edit. Okay, cool. I think that was the last one of the ones I can do in Workspace. So let's do Lightroom. So let me get a second to synchronize the Lightroom catalog. And then we'll look at the viewer edits. So synchronize. And where's synchronize? Why? Synchronize folder. Okay, there it goes. It's working. So 1 second. Let me push all the viewer edits away. And go back to see if I can. There. All right, so it looks like I need to do this one, oh, a negative. Yeah, they told me they were going to send the negative in. There's only 2 here. Okay. Yeah, I've done all these. So let's just do these 2. Wow. This is pretty, and it's actually, is it snowing right now? Yeah, it looks like it. You know, just a tip when you're taking picture in the snow, if you use a flash, it'll really make the snow stand out that's falling while it's snow. If it's actually snowing when you take the picture, if you use a flash, you'll get really neat effect of the snow falling. But okay, let me think about what to do here. This was 20. I don't know what the EXIF is here. Oh, excuse me. 25 millimeter at f4 on an RW2. I assume that's a Panasonic camera. Compositionally, I like these. I like this. I'm not crazy about this fence. I'd have probably gotten lower and shot between the fence, but who knows if that's possible given, you know, you never know what is possible by looking at a picture because you weren't there, right? But that'd have been my first thought, was to get lower and take a picture through the fence rather than having it block up a quarter of the scene here. Let me just see what happens here. I like these two cabins right here and this bridge. Oh yeah, music. I have some shots of snow. I have to post them one time. It's pretty cool. Maybe I can find them before the stream's over. I'll look for them at the end. Dang it, I'm not really content with this crop. I've killed 2 minutes just trying to figure out a crop. Just a little bit tighter, because I like the trees over here. I'm gonna go with that. Click auto. And what I would have done here is like, it looks like you added 1.5 stops exposure comp on this. That might have been a bit too much. It's getting harder to recover some of the highlights here. All right, a little. Let's straighten this. See if this will. Yeah, that didn't help much. Okay. Some of the reds are coming in back here. I like that. Hey, let me just give some thought to these reds. Where's my colors? There may not be enough though. Yeah, it's not enough. So let's just brighten these up just a tiny bit. Oh, I'm out of time. Okay. So here's the before and after. How do we do this in Lightroom? Yeah, with Lightroom you don't see the full frame that it was taken with, but compositionally, I almost feel like I need to go wider, but I think there was something over here that I didn't like this structure here. So this is what I would go with for this image. And the color image is just as valid, I think. So it's just switching between the two, black and white, and there's color. It just depends what you're partial to. If you hate black and white, then you'll like this better, right? All right, let's do the next one. Oh, this is negative. God, how do you process this? I forget how to do negatives. If I remember correctly, you have to shift I have to do this in Photoshop and shift everything. I think that's what I have to do. It's been a while since I've done negatives. Can I invert the curve in Lightroom, Walter? I think I have to do it. I think I have to do it in Photoshop. I don't think I can just invert the curve in here. Right? Yeah. So, oops. Photoshop's still loading. Let me see. Yeah, reverse the tone curve. Yeah, I have to do it in Photoshop, right? Control I. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Just make it simple, right? All right. Now we're back to Lightroom. Okay. So, yeah, the channel mixer, yeah, I used to really got into it, I don't know, about a year ago, but it's been about a year since I've messed around with negatives directly. All right, let me just click auto here. Auto here. Oops, where's my timer? And let's pull the blacks in. Let's pick a cloud for white balance, maybe about there. Pull it to haze and tiny bit of clarity. And that white balance is not coming in. Maybe because this is kind of a, let me try this, maybe this part of the shirt. No, let me just do it manually so it looks right. You know, film is never right anyway. That's hilarious. This picture could have been taken like within the last 50 years, right? Who knows how old this is? Let's try bringing this in, warm it up. Well, let me just touch the warmness here, and then I'll have to adjust the warmth on the entire image. I'm just not getting the white balance I want automatically. Come on, move right there. Let's crop to about here. Here, just do a simple rule of thirds comp. Kodachrome slide? Sure, why not? Let's see. A bit of noise reduction. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this to film. You know, you really like to kind of keep sort of the look and feel of film. I feel like there's just some just needs more contrast. Some straightening. Okay. More in the shadow. And a little vignette and I'm done. The highlights back in. Nah. I need one more thing. Oh, yeah, you're right, Demorkin. I missed the total thing on the water here, didn't I? What did I do? Just about. Let's do. Just brush it back in. Okay. There. Okay. While I'm at it, I really need some. I just need some more contrast. Oh, what the heck is that? I just need a little more contrast in here. All right, I'm gonna call it. Where's my before and after? This one? Yeah. So, yeah, basically crop in a little, warm it up, kind of, because it's really blue for some reason. Might have been the way I just did that invert on the thing. I think there's other ways to there's better ways to kind of invert a negative, I think, if I remember correctly, but I think that looks pretty decent. That was about a 5-minute edit, but yeah. That worked out pretty well. Okay. The beautiful thing about film is you rarely blow out the highlights, so you can always bring the skies in. This has been really hard to do on a digital camera, right? To bring the skies in this much. All right, let's look at the viewer images, because you guys always do an awesome job with mine. So this week I sent in what? Uh-oh, hold on. Let me just double check something. Make sure I didn't miss. Yeah, we're good. All right, so the original image. Oh, you have a late edit? Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. You said you were going to send something. I thought you sent one in today, but I can look at it. Let me go over. Shop. Oh, this is an edit of my image. Let me just download. Looks like there's a couple. I'll download them both. Download to viewer edits. Download to viewer edits. Oh, this one's from Walter. Let me try this one. I think I got this one, but let me double check. Yeah, I got that one. All right, so let me resynchronize. And go back to viewer edits. Okay, and Walter, yeah, I got yours, Walter. I got Image Writer. And Marco said, I wasn't able to do edit because I can't open in Photoshop, new laptop, so I haven't installed Workspace. Oh, okay. And no big deal. This wasn't a great picture anyway. Well, none of mine really are that great, but I think let me show you the original image on my Flickr page. I think. Yeah, this is the original, right? So this is my, this is not the original. This is my edit. This is not the original image. This was my edit. Believe it or not, I stayed with color on this. But where's the original? I always like to show that before I bet it's in here. Here, no. In here. Yeah, here's the original. So here's the original image. You know, just an old house. You can see my car over here. But okay, let's see what you guys did with this. You saw what I did. Mine was just kind of a punchy edit, colorful edit. Why is there, oh, turn this off. Okay, this is good. Who did this one? Where's my data here? Joni. I like this. I like what you did here. How different is that from, yeah, those, this is good. Nice and wide. I like this crop for some reason a lot. And the processing is really good too. I think what I like about the crop is you got rid of this horrible street in the front that I kept on mine. So I like that. And this from De Morgan. Wow, this is interesting processing. Very, very gritty. And the crop, I mean the wide crop I prefer, but this is, if you're gonna square crop it, this is a good place to square it off. You know, with the tree in the background right here, it kind of balances all of this mess down here, right? But I like this very gritty processing. It looks like old film almost somehow, but not. And this from Ivan, good black and white conversion. But yeah, the same crop, almost exactly what I did crop wise, right? Just got the whole house in, so that's why I like the Morgan squared off crop. It's hard to crop this image and get something that looks decent because the house is so low and wide. It's just a weird thing to take a picture of, architecturally speaking. You don't normally see structures like this that often, you know. Done like old tinted black and white. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like you colorized a black and white film. That's what it looks like. And this one, yeah, this is a nice soft black and white though. It's not too punchy. And then John follows. He kind of went the direction I did, right? With the colors, I think. Just not quite as much. I kind of went overboard with mine with contrast and color. But this one you basically toned it down a bit. So this is a little better processing. I like how you save the greens though. I don't think on mine. Yeah, on mine I didn't save the greens quite as well over here in the columns. But on yours the greens are very distinctive. So I like that part, and you didn't jack up the grass green either. That's a pretty decent edit. Why isn't this going to the next one? Antonio, this is good. I like this. This is like more of a contrasty kind of color image. And then the framing helps, you know, somehow. Everyone has kind of a very different, I mean, they're all similar, but they're all very different too at the same time. You know, the way you process the look and feel. Huh. I like this one too. I mean, I generally I like all of them. This is from Walter, Inverted Curves. What it says. So this is like a negative. Wow, this is weird. It's kind of split tone between green and red, but it has kind of that inverted look to it. I know what you mean. It's kind of weird. So okay, I get it. You inverted the reds to green and then the blues to yellow. All right, I get it. That's interesting, that's why it looks negative without being negative. I see how that works, because the opposite of blue is yellow, right? So that's why the skies turn this yellow. The opposite of red is green. So that's why this red rusty roof turned green. And the opposite of green is kind of a cyan, right? So that's why we got kind of this weird grass. So yeah, that's interesting, Walter. I don't think it works with this image too well, but I think it's really interesting all the same. This is really interesting. I'll have to try that. I've never thought about doing inverted color curves. You know, when you think of inverting, you think of luminance, right? Inverting the luminance for negatives. But this is taking it to another level of split toning. All right. A nice muted look. This is a little bit more your style, right, Walter? A little more purist. And a very similar crop to what I did. Yeah, that's cool. You inverted the luminance too on that other one? I don't think so. The luminance looks the same to me. But I see the color luminance. I mean, if you inverted the luminance, then all the whites would be black and vice versa. When I think of luminance, anyway. But okay. Yeah, good muted look. That really tones down all of the grit and just softens the overall look. I can go with this. And okay, I'll check it out, Walter. I'll check it out. I'm gonna have to take a nap after this stream. I'm so tired for some reason. This is awesome. I like this kind of a sepia kind of look. Yeah, this works. And this one from Image Rider. Kind of added a little bit of a, whatchamacallit, miniaturization. A mild change to a miniaturization, right? It almost works here like this. Almost. If it was framed a little wider, I think that would have worked and would have looked really cool. But I like the processing everywhere in the middle. It's very gritty. But yeah, this is a good edit. You just basically cropped it a little bit wider. Marcel with the partial color action here. You know, this kind of works too. I got mixed feelings though. I like everything but the sky. Somehow the sky is just too dark or something. Something about the sky is throwing me off, but I like everything else. I like the red contrasting with the black and whites and the greens. Yeah, that all works for me. Everything but the sky, but that's a cool edit. Okay, let's see. Surge. Film style edit. Yes, definitely looks like film. I'm not sure what, oh, excuse me, I'm not sure what brand of film or stock of film this is supposed to emulate, but this is a cool look. Very teal. Lots of teal colors in this. This is good. I like this edit too. Okay. Simon Giddings. Oh, I see what you did. This looks pretty much stock, like the original image. But you brushed out my car over here on the right. And I see a little bit more punch here. But other than that, it looks pretty stock to me. I'm trying to see if there's something else missing. This is like one of those games where you look in the photo and try and figure out what's missing. I think the car is the only thing you brushed out. And you did a good job. I mean, you wouldn't know there was a car parked there. But yeah, you wanted to make it look like old film, but the car didn't fit. So you did do a little processing. Let me, I have to look at the original again to kind of see. Okay, yeah, I see it now. When you look at the original, it's a little more obvious the processing you did, right? Let me go back. Turn this off. So we were here. Yeah, now it's a little more obvious. I can see it. I can see a little bit of film look to it now. I get it. Okay, that works. Dawood just cropped the heck out of it, man. But I see why he cropped here again, because of this tree balancing kind of the rest of the image. But still, I think that's too much. Now you have no idea what you're looking at, other than the top. Ah, you're going for Fuji colors. Oh, okay, yeah, that works. We're talking about Surge, when Surge did his edit to make it look like film, because it did look like film. And then Neo always frames my pictures. I always like his framing. But he did a lot of things here. He always does a really good job. But he went a little bit teal on the sky and then blurred it. So he added kind of a radial blur to the sky. And to the foreground. Just a little bit of blur. But yeah, I think what Neo's doing, Neo's a young guy compared to most of us here. I think he's only like 38. But basically he reduced the color palette a little bit so that it's down to just kind of these oranges and teals. And there's not much else in the color. And then adding the blurring, but he always does a really nice edit. I think everyone's generally pretty impressed with your edits, Neo. You always have something. Just like Surge. Surge always does excellent. What the heck happened? Luke, you reverse the image. So this is a reverse, and then you split tone it in black and white. Because look, the skies are blue and there's a little bit of green. So it's not split toning, it's more of a extremely muted partial color. Well, why would you reverse the image? That's weird. I don't know if you're still here, Luke. I'm curious why you reversed it. Oh, you're here. Knew most would go for similar. Oh, I see. So you just wanted to go really different. But now it looks weird after looking at all the other ones that this is reversed. But I kind of like the muted color effect though. Muting everything out but maybe the blues and the greens. Oh my god, I'm crashing. The coffee must have wore off. That's interesting. I'll have to try that on some of my images. Extremely muted partial color. That's interesting. You like it inverted. The eye flows to the right. Really? I like it normal. I don't think my eye flows to the right. It starts at the right, then goes left. Unless that's what you mean. I'm more of a left to right kind of guy. Okay. But I like the muted tones. That's giving me some ideas for some other images. Oh, and this is Walter's settings. So, Walter, you're going to have to come in and live stream or do your own live streams with some editing and talk about this stuff. But yeah, I'll check this out. I'll check this out later. Okay. Luke, again, must have downloaded it twice. Oh, that's it. So, that is the end of today's live stream. Awesome edits as usual. I'm gonna have to go with DeMorkins as my favorite though. I like the processing and I like that you square cropped it and still got it balanced. If I did not know what the entire house looked like, I wouldn't feel like it was cut off, Because knowing that the house is really wide and big, this feels kind of cut off to me. But if I didn't know that, this would be a really interesting crop, I think, a good edit. Just my personal favorite, but I liked a lot of the editing here on that you guys did. I thought Walter's inverse colors were interesting. This one, I thought that was really interesting. Maybe combine this with what Luke Rod did with kind of a muted color scheme. I don't know. There's lots of interesting techniques here being applied though to the image that I never used before. That's why I love seeing what you guys do, because it gives me ideas. Hopefully it gives you guys a few ideas as well. Even if the image itself is not that interesting, how it's processed can make all the difference. But I really like, I think I'm going to go with this as my favorite as far as edits go. So, all right, we're going to call it. So thanks everybody for joining me today on the photo editing live stream. I'm going to have another one out for Thursday. I might have to push it a little bit later Thursday evening, later than I normally do. But I'll figure out today and post links up for my live streams on Thursday, what times they'll be. And then I'll select a new image for you guys to edit. Hopefully something a little more interesting. I try to give something interesting every week, but not always, right? And thanks for spending your time today with me, a couple hours with me. I appreciate that, taking time out of your day. And I'll be back again on Thursday.